Hello, it's me. I know, this sounds a little crazy. I wanted to make a sweetbread this morning, and I just got an idea that maybe I could do it like this. And so I thought, oh, it's a perfect time to share it with you because I've never made this exactly like this before. So I'm just going to use the ingredients that I have, and I'm going to share it with you, and we'll see how it turns out. What I'm going to make, I wanted to make some sweetbread. And so I thought, well, what's an easy way to do that? So right in here, I put in some flour. I've got 2 cups of flour. I have a half a cup of packed brown sugar. This is just light brown sugar because that's what I had. I've got about a tablespoon of cinnamon. I've got a pinch of cayenne. I know, right? I know I'm crazy. A tablespoon of baking powder and some salt. Just you know, sprinkle of salt. Now, what I'm going to add to that, okay, here's the kicker. I'm going to add a bottle of beer. I'm going to add some leftover oatmeal from breakfast, and this has brown sugar and cinnamon in it, and that's it. And I'm going to add 1 beaten egg, and the reason it looks like that is because I put my vanilla in it. I got about a whole teaspoon or more of vanilla, and I wanted something a little crunchy, so I happen to have a partial bag of pecans from Christmas baking, so I'm going to put that in there too. Oh gosh, crazy woman. Alright, so I'm just going to mix this up here and get my dry ingredients all mixed up. I don't know if this is going to turn out or not, seriously, because I don't have a recipe. It's not tried and tested. It's just me, simple food, simple life, doing my crazy thing in the kitchen. I've been known to do this on occasion, and actually I came up with some pretty doggone good things that I have made many times since. And then I had to go back and backtrack and write down the recipe and how I did it. I know, I bet some of you guys have done the same thing, haven't you? Okay, so there is the dry ingredients. Now I'm going to put my beer in. This is, I think you could just use any old beer. Now, I've made beer bread before. It's not that big of a deal. I've made it lots of times, and just using savory spices or something sweet. But I've never done it with my leftover oatmeal. Alright, I'm going to put the camera down a second and get this stirred up before I add my other stuff in. Okay, hang on. Alright, I got the batter mixed up. I'm going to put my oatmeal in there. I'm going to put my egg in there. Well, this is the egg and the vanilla. Put that in there. I'm going to put my pecans in there after I get this all mixed up. Now, you know what? You can use probably any nuts you want, or don't use nuts. Or if I would have had some golden raisins or cranberries or something like that, I might have put that in there. That would have been real festive. I gotta smell this. Smells yeasty, which is nice. Alright, I can smell the vanilla, the cinnamon, the yeast. Now, why did I put the cayenne in there? You know how Red Hots or cinnamon, they have that little zip? I think that's kind of what I was trying to go for there. I don't know if it'll work or not, but let's see. Alright, got my oatmeal mixed up. I have, and that oatmeal was cooked because it was left from breakfast. Got my oatmeal mixed up. I have my egg and vanilla in there. And I have right here a greased, well, it's oil, with some vegetable oil. This is my cast iron loaf pan. I love this pan. I ordered it online many years ago. And, oh, it's a fantastic loaf pan. I really should have two, but I only have one. So, oh well, maybe someday. Okay, so I'm going to get this in the pan. I've got my oven at 350 degrees and preheated. And I'm going to pour this in the pan. And I'm going to go for it, see what happens, okay? Now, I'm going to set this on about 30 minutes. And go from there because I'm really not sure how long to bake it. I'm just going to guess maybe 30 minutes. But I will bake it until a pick or knife inserted in the center comes out clean. Okay, here we go. Okay, look. This is great. Look, it filled the pan perfectly. I'm excited. All right, going in the oven. I'm going to put it on there for about 30. You know what? I think I'm going to put it on there for 20 minutes. And then I'm going to look at it because this cast iron cooks a little bit different than other pans do. Then I'm just going to take a peek at it and see where we're at. And I'm going to go from there. It smells really good. Let's see what happens with this, okay? And just so you know, I used one egg. I did not use two eggs. I just used one, okay? And if you notice, there's no oil in this. So I'm not quite sure how it's going to be. I didn't put any added fat. So we'll see. Okay. After it's baked, I'll be back. Alrighty. Okay, the bread is baking away, but I want to show you something. I got an idea. I put the bread, I don't know what to call it yet, but I'll figure it out. Anyway, I put it in the oven, the sweet bread, at 20 minutes at 350 degrees. And so I'm just going to let that go for now. But in the meantime, I thought, you know what? What if I make a little streusel topping for that? And make the topping so that it lets people know that there's oatmeal in it. Oh, brilliant. Okay, so what I've got in here, I've got 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. I have a tablespoon of oatmeal, and that's just the quick oats. And I've got a tablespoon of some of those pecans. And I never know whether to say pecans or pecans. Anyway, pecans. I'm going to put in a tablespoon of salted butter. That looks like about a tablespoon. Because, and I've got some soft butter out here, so that's what I have. And then I'm just going to mix that up with a fork. And then I'm going to put it in the refrigerator so that it gets cold and crumbly while my bread is baking. Now then, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle this on the top. I'm going to look at the bread after about 20 minutes, and then if I think it's ready to do so, I will sprinkle it on the top. But in actuality, I think if I put this on the top of the bread at the last 5 minutes, so that this melts down and gets all streusel-y, I think that will probably do it. Okay, I think this is going to be good. Okay, I'll be back, but I just wanted to show you this. Going to get this mixed up and popped in the fridge. All right, my timer went off again, so now we're up to 30 minutes. Let's see what we got. See, it's still jiggly. Still jiggly. But it's looking good. It smells delicious. Oh, so we'll see. Okay, now I'm going to set this on another 5 minutes, which will bring us up to 35 minutes. And let's see what we have. As long as it's jiggly in the center like that, see, it's kind of jiggly. I'm not going to put my skewer in, or you can use a clean knife. That's fine. I'm not going to do that right now because I know from looking at it, it's just a tad too soft. Okay, off we go. 5 more minutes. We'll be back. All right, my timer just went off, and that gives it 35 minutes total. It's not jiggling anymore. So let's see what we've got. I want to put my little stick down in there. Oh, I don't know. It feels pretty soft. The skewer's clean, but you know what? I just feel like it's not quite there. So I'm going to give it another 5 minutes, and let's hope that's not too long, okay? Okay, another 5 minutes, and that will bring it up to 40 minutes in this loaf pan. Now, if I'd have done it in a 8x8 or 9x9 cake pan, it would have been less time, but we're going to go for it, okay? All right, here we go. Looking good. Okay, 5 more minutes, and then I think we'll be there. Okay, my experiment is out of the oven, and it's been 45 minutes at 350 degrees. So, what do you think? It looks pretty tasty, I have to say. It's really, really sizzling, and this pan stays hot. So I put my skewer in, it came out nice and clean. It felt firm, and much more firm than it did 5 minutes ago. And so I have it on my rack here, and that's so that the air can flow underneath. And I'm just going to let it sit here. Oh gosh, I'm going to have to let it sit, I think, probably 20 or 30 minutes until it's cooled down enough that where I can really handle it. And then we'll do the taste test, because you know the proof is in the tasting, right? Okay, I'll let you know how this turns out. Thanks for sticking with me. Gotta let it cool off. I have things to do while that's happening, right? Okay, come back with me. Don't forget, don't give up. Okay, there is my beer sweetbread. Actually, it's oatmeal cinnamon beer bread. So, it's still pretty warm. I did get it out of the pan. It stayed intact pretty good. Some of my streusel fell off, but I just plopped it back on there. Like that one there, it fell off. Oh my gosh. It's got my name on it. Okay. So, I'm just going to let that cool some more. You want to take it out of the pan before it gets completely cooled, because what happens is moisture forms underneath, and it can make the bottom of your bread soggy or your baked good soggy. So you want to be sure and take it out of the pan when it's cool enough to handle. Okay? All right, so it looks pretty good. I'm not going to cut into it yet because it's still pretty warm. And I want it to kind of dry out a little bit there because, like I said, moisture does form. When I taste it, we will come back and I'll let you know what this is like, because I frankly have never made this before. This is new, made on the spot, and you were there. But in the meantime, I did write down my ingredients and the method I used. So I will be able to share that with you in the description below. Okay? All right, so hang on. We're going to taste this here pretty soon. Okay, now it's the moment of truth. It's cooled off enough. I've got it on my little cutting board here, and I've got some wax paper under it so that after I cut into it, I can wrap it right away. Okay? All right, so let's look here. The texture looks pretty good. Smells delicious. It really does smell good. All right. What should I do here? I think I'm going to cut it. Oh, yes, I know. I'm going to cut it down the center. Let's see what happens here. I think I'm going to use both my hands, so. Hold on, don't leave. You don't want to miss the reveal. Okay, I cut into it and I used my serrated knife. It's a little bit soft. It might have been able to use a few more minutes. But that just may be that way because of the oatmeal, that cooked oatmeal is in it. It's firm. So I'm going to cut a slice off of this and I'm going to taste it. It smells really good. Okay, now that's the center of it. So I'm going to cut the end of it and let's see what goes on See if that looks a little bit different. And I'm going to take a bite off of the slice off of the end of it, okay? All right. You're going to love this. I got so involved with taste testing this bread that I actually forgot to push resume. So you missed all my good comments. So I'm and you missed my bite. Oh my gosh. Crazy woman. Okay. I did taste it. It's really, really absolutely delicious. It tastes really good. It's got good texture. It's the cayenne in there gives it just an itty bitty little bit of a bite. Like, you know, when you use a combination of spices in a dessert, like a spice cake or whatever, and you get that little bit of zip on your tongue. That's what that does. The pecans add just that lovely, lovely texture and flavor. And this is not an overly sweet bread. It's not like cake. It's very low on the sweetness scale. And it would take extremely well to some butter or cream cheese or just eating it plain with coffee. Okay? All right. Listen, I hope you give this a try. It is really, really good. And if you try it and you do a variation on it, would you please let me know? I will put the ingredients and the method down below. And give it a try and see what you think about it. And you know what? You don't taste the beer in it. You don't have to use beer. You can actually just use any liquid that you want. It's fine. Okay? Just remember, if you use milk or whatever, that might change the texture or the moisture level or whatever. So, please, please, please give this a try if you want to. And you know what? I welcome your comments. Please like. Everybody likes to be liked. And subscribe. And let me know what you think, okay? All right, if I can do this, you can do this, okay? And I just used what ingredients I had in the house. I didn't really plan on making this, but I just wanted to. I got a wild streak, and I wanted to make it, and I wanted to share it with you. All right, I love you guys. I know you can do this. And you just remember that little is much when God is in it. Okay, talk to you later. Bye. Thank you for watching Simple Food, Simple Life. Please like, subscribe, and share.